Well, look, firstly, the Chairman is right to express these concerns, and we are working extremely hard on every single aspect of our production and delivery system to make sure that we meet the expectations not only of our customers but also of ourselves. And over the last 5 months we have undertaken major changes in the way we are going about our production. Firstly, we have slowed it down. We've worked with the National Transport Safety Board. We're working very closely with the FAA. We have had 70,000 of our employees across 20 of our manufacturing sites stood down to actually spend time working with us on quality and safety issues in our production systems. We've had 30,000 ideas, from relatively small things to very big things, that have come from our own workforce around tools, equipment, quality inspections, what we call travelled work, where something is not fully completed at one part of the production system that it should. We're also working very closely with our suppliers, in particular with Spirit in Wichita, which provides major components of the fuselage for our aircraft, and we've got our own employees in the Spirit site at the moment looking at 50 production quality points there. We've already had an 80% reduction in issues from Spirit, and as is well known, we are well advanced in negotiating a reacquisition of Spirit into the Boeing company. We independently brought in Admiral Kirkland Donald, who'd run the US nuclear submarine program for a number of years, where of course the highest standards of safety and quality are required, and he is independently looking at our entire production system to make sure we get it right. We've slowed down the rate of production to make sure that we can bring strength and quality to our supply chains, to stabilise those supply chains and to fortify our production system. So I am extremely confident, our company is extremely confident that the quality of the aeroplanes that we produce will meet the standards that not only we expect but our customers expect and the flying public needs.
But Boeing has had a terrible year, a terrible 2024, starting with the incident of Alaska Airlines and many others. So where did the quality controls get it wrong, so wrong?
Well, we went through 2 existential challenges in terms of the grounding of the 737 MAXs and then of course the global pandemic. We had significant changes in the workforce that we have. We had changes in our board, changes in our management. We introduced a safety management system which is regarded by industry and regulators as world class, a quality management system, and I can only say to you that we were extremely disappointed with the events that involved Alaska Air and that plug door. In fact, it's fair to say that it was distressing to us to know that this had happened, and as a result of which we have slowed down our production on the 737 production line to make sure that, as I said, that we get this right. We have had quality issues, not safety issues, but quality issues with some of the other production lines, the 787, and by the end of this year we will have what we call the 2 shadow factories that have been correcting the quality issues in some of our aircraft completed and finished. So at the moment we're going through very challenging times, but the basis for optimism is this is one of the world's greatest companies. I came to Boeing myself because I believe in a better future, and I believe in inspiring the next generation to believe that the impossible is possible. And we're in an environment where we've got unprecedented and sustained demand for our commercial products, for our defence products. We're working with and developing the most advanced technologies that are imaginable, and we have the brightest people in the world working for us. So yes, of course, we've got challenges to work through, which is precisely what we're doing at the moment, and I think, in fact, I know that the public can be as confident in Boeing aircraft as I certainly am.
So you can tell our viewers that it is absolutely safe to travel on your aircrafts?
Almost every second of the day somewhere in the world, a Boeing aircraft is landing or taking off. I am absolutely confident in the safety of our aeroplanes. And the other thing that's happened that we've seen over the last few months is that incidents that normally happen with any aircraft, which relate to maintenance of that aircraft, or things that happen in the same way they can happen to cars, have been widely reported. And in fact, for the first quarter of this year, the number of events involving aircraft is lower than it was for the quarter last year. So you need always to take things into perspective.
Do you think that the change in management can really help gain the trust that has been lost?
I'm absolutely confident in it. Dave Calhoun, our CEO, who came into that position after the grounding of the Maxes, has done an outstanding job leading us over the last 4 or more years. He has made the decision now that he will leave the company toward the end of this year, around the end of this year, and we've now had Stephanie Pope, who's had a career of leaving nothing but excellence behind her in achievement. She's taken on the leadership of the Boeing commercial aeroplane business and is also the Chief Operating Officer. The board chairmanship is changing to Steve Mollenkopf, and I'm expecting that we will see further changes and reforms in our company that will further strengthen safety and quality.
Regarding Boeing's presence here in the UAE, can you please provide us with insights into how the company aligns with the innovative initiatives in the country and the region?
Well, the United Arab Emirates is, by any standard, one of the leading nations in the world, and it is a product of what informs leadership, and that's vision. The vision for this country that successive leaders have given it is based on creating a better future for the people of the Emirates, in innovation, in technology and tourism, major investments in infrastructure, a leading nation globally in relation to space, for example, and creating what is, by any standard, a hub, and for us in the aerospace sector, particularly for commercial aviation and for air cargo transport. We've had a relationship now with the Emirates for 46 years. We're very proud of it. In fact, we regard it as a partnership. It's much more than a transactional relationship that we have. And across the region, we have 3,000 employees. We have 300 in the United Arab Emirates. And there are about 280 of our Boeing aircraft flown by Emirati carriers, and we've got some 420 aircraft that are on our order books. So this is a very important partnership for us, particularly also as we invest in people, STEM programs, for example, for children, support for university students, but also the joint ventures we've developed and the relationship that we've had with developing Strata, which produces vertical fins for our 787s, composite components for 777s, 787s, 777X, and we've also been working with a number of other companies that are producing very important components for our aircraft.
How do you work on expanding the regional footprint of Boeing, including, of course, any industrial partnerships or ongoing research projects?
Well, for example, one of the areas where the Emirates is leading is in the development of urban air mobility and autonomous mobility. And so one of our joint ventures has been developing technology that allows the interaction of unmanned vehicles in manned or crewed airspaces, for example. In the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we've been working there in developing aluminium production, and we have an MOU with the Ministry of Investment, which is now leading well advanced into the production of aerospace grade aluminium. We've also been working with the Saudis on downstream production of titanium, and recently at the World Defence Expo we signed an MOU with Bari Logistics to look at, to explore the possibility for aerospace logistics and distribution in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So what we regard as important also, particularly coming back to the United Arab Emirates, is working on sustainability to decarbonise aviation. And we've gone into a number of partnerships here, for example with Mazda, in looking at technologies for the production and scaling of sustainable aviation fuels. And we've also brought together not only our partners in Etihad, in Emirates, but also in the research and other industries to work on advanced renewable energy and technologies for aviation. So it's an exciting and important place for us to be investing. And in terms of the future of the Boeing company, I'm the president of Boeing Global. I serve on the executive council of the Boeing company. We have 30,000 employees outside the United States now, and increasingly we're co-investing and developing products and services for our customers outside the United States in support of our American jobs and our production plants.
Boeing is definitely a leading company in that sector. And you have a very challenging job to do. In your mind, how do you picture Boeing in 2 years? I'm just going to give you that short time frame. In 2 years, in terms of deliveries, market share, how do you see Boeing changing and regaining the trust of the market, of the travelers, business partners, and other stakeholders?
Well, over the next 2-year period, so we will firstly see a new CEO appointed to the Boeing company, and some changes to the board, as I've foreshadowed, a new chairman coming into the board. I'm very confident that our production lines will be working at full capacity within the constraints of safety and quality. We're not going to be chasing production rate at any expense of safety or quality, but I'm confident that we will be in a much stronger position in our defence business than we are at the moment, and I'm very confident that the issues that we are working through now and have already well advanced on addressing will be that job will be completed.
So safety and quality first.
That is the most important thing. As Dave Calhoun said earlier in the year, this stuff is extremely important, and I have absolute confidence in our products, in our planes, in our defence platforms, and every single day people throughout the world confidently get on a Boeing plane. I'm one of them.
Yep.
And
Me too.
And I'm confident that in 2 years' time, in fact, I'm very happy every time I come back to the United Arab Emirates to come in here and you can do a checkup with me.
Thank you very much. We will definitely do that. Thank you very much.